tired along the road with my little girl, Maya, looking for water. The lizard, Nylon, has been with me for a few years now. He's a good companion. He eats very little and is resistant to the sun. He allows us to move around. I harnessed him to our carriage. It's an old car that I had to adapt. Maya is 12 years old. She asks me a lot about her parents. I can feel that she wants to understand where she comes from and how we got here in this desert with so little water to survive.
Grandpa, tell me how they met.
You miss your parents a lot these days, don't you?
Yes, it's been a long time since we lost them. If we didn't have the picture in the carriage, I think I would forget their faces.
I understand you, my child. I miss your mother too. And I miss your father. I miss your father so much.
Tell me about them.
They knew each other since they were children. They had lost track of one another and found themselves a few years later. What a happy surprise then.
I sure guess.
Artemis was the first to recognize her as she walked down the street. Her calm and peaceful gait had surprised him. Your father was very tall, a big guy, almost as big as your dear grandpa. And your mother, I can still see her, all plumped up.
Pudgy? I can hardly imagine it. She has always been so slim in my memories.
Yes, plump with chubby cheeks. I think that's what your father talked about the most. The way they glowed, blushed in the sun, and masked her big gray eyes. Her skin was caramel-colored. Her curly black hair was cut square. In spite of the wind, they always remained astonishingly still. Your father had a lot of fun with what she had to put in to pull off such a feat.
What about Dad?
He had a black skin like ebony. The short hair on which he liked to draw a lightning bolt and some symbols that I could not define. It was very fashionable at the time. Until now, I don't understand anything about it. He was very thin, and his height gave the impression of a giant who could surpass everyone. He had waved to her, so happy to find a known face among this crowd of strangers. He hadn't seen her for 4 years. She had left when her parents decided to move to the city. Him only had decided to come this year.
That's when things started to change?
Yes, it started to rain. It was a surprising, brutal rain, and they had to take cover.
The rain? What is it?
It's water that falls from the sky. Sometimes in small drops, other times very hard. During this rain that seemed endless, they had discussed, had remembered the past years, their hometown.
Water falling from the sky. How is this possible?
As I tell you, from the sky.
It sounds almost magical.
A camp not far away.
Great! I'm getting hungry. Grandpa?
Do you want me to continue?
Of course! How often did they see each other?
They met regularly. Artemis lived in a boarding house, and your mother, Malin, lived with her parents. When she was working too late, he would accompany her so that she would not have to make the journey back home alone. It was mainly to continue to be in her presence. In the beginning, they talked about their place of birth. It was a very humid city. It rained often there. It was probably because it was at the foot of the mountain. The mountain had many streams flowing along its flanks. Very often, when they were young, Artemis and Malin would go on adventures and follow the streams. They left on an expedition too happy to discover new places and live in contact with nature. When it rained, the pleasure was at its peak, and even if it could be dangerous at times. So, if it rained too much, they preferred going home. River water, so soft and fresh, could sometimes be tumultuous and murderous. Always beware of water.
Water can be a danger?
Yes, if we are not careful. Very often it is when we think we are safe that we are reckless. The danger is always there, lurking in the shadows. It sometimes presents itself in the most unexpected way. As long as it's small drops, we can drink it, dance in the rain. But if there is too much, we can drown. It's getting late. Let's go to bed.
Oh, yes. I am so sleepy.